Hey everyone, welcome to the Inner Alchemy program, and this is the introduction to the 5 elements of inner alchemy. So what is alchemy? Just to give you a little background, alchemy was a practice originated in ancient Egypt of transforming lead into gold. And I got first introduced to this concept by my first coach of the 5 elements in alchemy. And since then I've applied it into my life. I've really worked at understanding how these elements represent themselves in my life and in our life, and how to practically work with these elements to bring them into alignment to create inner alchemy. So the concept of inner alchemy is the transformation of your lead energy into gold energy. So what is your lead energy? Your lead energy is the heavy, dense emotional energies that keep you down, that hold you back from feeling the way you want to feel and doing the things you want to do in your life and becoming who you want to become. So the doubt, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the judgment, the blame, the insecurities, the anger, the frustrations, all of that, those heavy lead dense energies, and transmuting them and transforming them into your gold energy. The lighter, more uplifting energies like empowerment, courage, confidence, joy, abundance, happiness, fulfillment, meaning, passion, belief, right? So that is the process and the concept of inner alchemy. And that's what this program is intended for you to create in your life. To transmute your light energy and have a process and a system in practical ways that you can identify and isolate these areas of your life and these aspects of transformation, so that you can pinpoint what's going on, so that you can transmute them into your gold energy, move past them, move through them, overcome them, break patterns, break habits, and break through your limitations in life. And so that is the concept of inner alchemy and where it came from in my life, and why me and Pierre decided to create this program is because we really resonate with the elements. For one, where we spend a lot of time in nature, really connect with nature. And that's another thing too, that we can all relate to these elements because we all come from nature, right? So on some level, we can all relate to these elements. And the mind really associates, learns, and memorizes knowledge and information by association. So by associating these common elements to these specific aspects of your life through these symbols, allows your subconscious mind to really retain a lot of the information and knowledge, so that you can unconsciously recognize and pinpoint which aspect of your life needs to be upgraded or needs to be brought back into balance. And that's the power that this mental model is going to allow you to living from this mental model is going to allow you to do. Continually create inner alchemy. Every time that you experience doubt or fear or lead energy or experiences that bring you down, you're going to be able to have this system and understand what you need to do in order to break through that, to overcome that, to transmute it into gold. And that is the power of inner alchemy, and that is an overview of the 5 elements. So just to give you a little background into why we created this program, and one is we really struggled early on in our life to create the disciplined habits so that will allow us to feel more confident, more certain in our actions, and give us the energy required and the focus and the drive to achieve the things that we want to achieve in our life and to become who we envision being. We all have this picture of who we want to become, but sometimes we struggle to find the clarity on how to become that person, how to embody that, how to break the patterns and the habits of thinking and being and doing that keep us the same, keep us stuck, right? And so we struggle to find that clarity, and this is something that's really helped us categorize and isolate these specific aspects so that we can continually break patterns, continually reach the next level and break our limitations and take action beyond our fears, and have the courage to do that, and the belief and the empowerment to do that. And we struggle to really understand the root of our patterns, the root of our habits that kept us stuck, the self-destructive, self-sabotaging habits. And we struggled to feel like we were enough, right? We always sought external validation for our worth, to feel worthy, to feel enough. We sought, our happiness externally as well. And so we feel like a lot of people are challenged with this, and this is why we created this program, and this is what it's intended for you to do, is to allow you to have a system and have a mental model to live from and specific practices so that you can recognize what you need to do in order to create transformation in your life or to break through certain experiences or fears or blocks that are keeping you from living your best life, and to create the life that you desire, to create the relationships that you desire, to create the finances that you desire, to create the health that you desire. And this is what this concept and this program is intended for you to do. So let's dive into it. The first element is the element of air. And each element has a specific practice, value, and characteristic or character trait associated to each one to help you recognize and identify with these things. So the first element is the element of air and represents itself as our self-awareness. And the practice of air is the practice of personal reflection to cultivate deeper self-understanding. When we take the time and make space, create space to reflect, to cultivate deeper self-understanding, we allow ourselves to continually, consciously grow towards the direction of who we desire to be, what we desire to create in our life, and how we desire to feel. And so that's the value of this practice of the air element and bringing it into balance, is conscious, continuous growth. So the practice is personal reflection to cultivate deeper self-understanding that's going to bring you conscious, continuous growth in your life. And that's going to allow you to embody the character trait of being mindful, being more mindful in your decisions every day, being more mindful of where you're spending your time and energy and with who and on what, so that you can align your actions and your decisions with who you desire to be and what you desire to create in your life by having a deeper self-understanding and creating and making space for personal reflection every day, if possible. That is ideal. So you can continually take inventory, discover more about yourself, and shed layers of things that no longer serves you. And let go of things that no longer serve you so that you can make more space in your life for the things that do, and for the things that you want, and the things that feed you, fulfill you, right? So that's the practice, or that's the element of air. And the three symptoms that you can recognize when your air element is low is, one, you struggle to understand your habits, emotions, and reactions. Two, you feel stuck in the same habits and patterns of thinking, being, and doing. And three, you lack alignment in your actions. So you struggle to align your actions with your desires, with your goals, with your dreams, and with your intentions. And that can all lead to a lot of inner frustration and inner conflict in your life. So ask yourself maybe where you might be lacking some air in your life, in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, with yourself. So those are the three symptoms that you can recognize if your air element is low. So moving on to the second element, the element of earth. Earth represents itself as our relationships, and our relationship to everything in life. Not just a relationship with other people, but our relationship with ourselves, relationship with money, relationship with health, or the quality of the relationship that you have with money, with yourself, with food, with other people, with your family, will all reflect the amount of fulfillment that you have in your life, the amount of security that you have in your life. So the practice of earth is the practice of service and appreciation to cultivate fulfillment. Because if you make life just about you, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be unfulfilling. So by practicing being of service to others and appreciating others and appreciating yourself will cultivate more fulfillment. And appreciating all of life, right? Appreciating and being of service to everything in life. To nature, to the planet, to the oceans. And the value that brings is abundance in your life. All of your needs are going to come from the quality of the relationships that you have. All of your opportunities are going to come from the quality of relationships that you have with life and with everything in it and everyone in it and with yourself. And the character trait that you're going to start to embody as you start to practice and bring your earth element into balance is you're going to start to feel grounded in yourself, grounded in life. You're going to feel secure, right? And so that's the earth element. And the 3 symptoms that you can recognize if your earth element is low is that you might feel a lack of belonging and connection in your life that could lead to isolation and feelings of loneliness. The second symptom is that you might feel feelings of lack, feelings of not enough, feelings of insecurities in your life. So not enough time, not enough money, not enough energy, not enough, just not enough, feeling not enough, not enough confidence. And a third symptom of the low earth element is that you might feel like you lack appreciation for yourself, you lack appreciation for others. You might think that you do appreciate things, and you might appreciate those things, but you don't take the time to consciously appreciate yourself for the things that you do. You don't take the time to consciously express your gratitude for the people and the things in your life, right? You could be grateful, but you don't take conscious time to remind yourself and to acknowledge your gratitude, your appreciation for yourself and others and things in your life. Those are the 3 symptoms that you could experience with the low earth element. So again, the practice is service and appreciation to cultivate fulfillment. The value that brings is abundance in your life. And the character that you start to embody is feeling grounded. So the third element is the element of water. Now water, it represents itself as our self-expression. Our self-expression is meant to flow through us like water, right? And the practice of water is the practice of creative and emotional expression to cultivate inner peace. Because just like water, our creative and emotional expression, if left inside and left stagnant, is going to start to build bacteria, become toxic to the body, and create dis-ease in the body, right? Just like a pool of water, if it sits if it doesn't move, it starts to build bacteria and starts to become toxic. So our creative and emotional expression is meant to flow through us, just like water. If we keep it inside, it's going to start to create dis-ease, to become toxic to the body. So the practice of water is creative and emotional expression to cultivate inner peace. And the value that it's going to bring in your life is creative freedom. It's going to allow you to feel free to create your life. It's going to allow you to feel free to express yourself. You're going to feel free to be authentic and to express your truth and to share what you feel. You're not going to feel bounded and restricted. You're going to feel absolute creative freedom in your life. And the character trait that you're going to start to embody with that is emotional resilience. Because as you put yourself out there creatively and emotionally, not everyone will accept you. And that's rejection, and going through that rejection is going to allow you to build that emotional resilience, allow you to only focus on the people who matter in your life and the people who do accept you for who you are. And the people who don't never did. And so through this practice of creative and emotional expression and creative freedom, you're going to build more emotional resilience in your life by allowing the creative and emotional energy to flow through you, just like water. And the 3 symptoms that you might experience from a low water element is overwhelming thoughts and feelings. You might experience second symptoms, you might experience low and prolonged negative moods that you can't seem to get out of. Right? It could be stress or loneliness or anger or frustrations, right? These prolonged disruptive moods. And a third symptom that you might experience with a low water element is that you struggle to say what you think, what you really think, and what you really feel. So you feel restricted, unable to express what you really think and really feel. Those are the 3 symptoms of a low water element that you might recognize in your life. And so The fourth element is the element of fire. Fire is the element of self-transformation. Fire is the element of passion, drive, focus, courage, and action. So the practice of fire is uncomfortable execution to cultivate courage. And the value that that brings in your life is empowered action. When you allow yourself to be uncomfortable and execute even if you fear, even if you're fearful, you execute even if you're uncomfortable, you start to cultivate courage, and that starts to create more empowered action in your life. As you break through the walls of discomfort and the walls of fear in your life, you start to feel more empowered to act, to create the life you want and to become who you desire to be, to say what you want to say, to create the relationships in the life that you desire in your life. That you desire. And the character trait that you start to embody with a balanced fire energy is driven. Because you feel empowered to act, you're courageous. So you have the focus, the passion to drive, to be driven, to create the life that you desire, and to become who you desire to be. And the fire element is self-transformation, because as you take action, as you build that courage and that drive to create, to push through, to break through the walls and limitations, that's going to create massive transformation in your life through the willingness to act and to take uncomfortable execution, or to execute even with fear, so you can have that courage. So that is the fire element. And 3 symptoms that you can recognize if your fire element is low is you might feel unfocused, maybe a little bit all over the place, and unmotivated to take action towards the things that you want, towards your desires and your goals and dreams in life. Another symptom of a low fire element is that you allow your fears, so the stress, the doubt, and the anxiety, and your desire for comfort to dictate and control your actions and decisions. So you allow your fears and desire for comfort to control what you do and what you don't do. You don't push through the fears. You don't lean into them. And you allow comfort to win in your life. And the third symptom that you might experience from a low fire element is procrastination and avoidance towards your goals, dreams, and desires. You'll procrastinate, you'll find excuses and justifications to push things or to not do things or to distract yourself completely from taking action. Those are the 3 symptoms you might experience from the low fire element. So that's the element of fire. Now the element of ether. Ether is our spiritual connection in life. It's the energy that we share with each other. It's the energy that we feel with each other. Energy is the space between us. It's the connection that we have to something greater than ourselves, something more powerful. It's our connection with life. You can call it God, you can call it universe, you can call it higher self, higher power. It's all the same energy. And so that is the ether element. It's our spiritual connection. And the practice is expanding your consciousness to create and cultivate a deeper connection with life. When you expand your consciousness to one that is connected to everything, that is a part of everything, you start to see nothing separate from you. You start to expand new possibilities. You start to become non-reactive to life. And that is the value that it brings, is you start to feel, you start to understand the universal truth. You start to create or understand the universal truths in life. And the character trait that you start to embody is enlightened. You start to become non-reactive to external situations, the good and the bad. You start to have total acceptance of everything in life. So you can feel connected, have 100% belief and faith in life, to be able to guide you, to show you the way when you're ready. And that is the ether element. And some symptoms that you might feel or recognize, the 3 symptoms you might recognize from a low ether element, is that you lack faith and belief in yourself and in life and in the infinite possibilities and opportunities that we have access to continually. So you have a limited way of thinking and seeing things. Another symptom is that you lack creative insight, creative inspiration. You lack the ability to find creative solutions to your problems in life. You're always focused on what's not going right, on the problems, instead of finding creative solutions and knowing that there is a solution there. And you might feel separate from everything and everyone through constant judgment in your life or through blame, and you lack overall acceptance of yourself and of life. Those are the 3 symptoms that you might experience and recognize from a low ether element. So that is the overview for the 5 elements of inner alchemy. We'll see you in the next video lesson. Thanks everyone. Peace.